Yeah, this is vibes and stuff. Check it out.
We're diving in where the world collide. Culture's gone, it's a crazy ride. Music's pumping, food's on the plate. We're vibing here, let's celebrate. Vibes and stuff, we keep it real. Talking about the way we feel. From the beats to the love we share. Everything in between we care. Uncle Freezie vibing all night and all day. Big pizza, always something to say. Our main man in the cut, he is soul finger. DSJ always showing up as a soulful singer. Ron, Bully and Corey always being so thorough. Don't forget from that ain't rap Triborough.
It's vibes and stuff. Vibes and stuff.
Vibes and stuff, we keep it real. Talking about the way we feel. Talking about the way we feel. From the beats to the love we share. From the beats to the love we share. Everything in between we care. Everything in between we care. It's not just talk, it's how we grow.
It's vibes and stuff.
Life's a rhythm, we all move.
Vibes and stuff.
Hey, chat. This is Corey Lee, your homie from here from Blowing Tears. Just a quick shout out to our sponsor, BetOnline AG, one of the best sporting books out there. You are looking for, the best sellers of your odds across the NBA, NFL, and you name it. This is where you want to really sign up, and using the link or the QR code on the screen, the best on with BetOnline will match up to 50% of your deposit up to $500. That's free money to play with. BetOnline, where the game starts.
What's good, everybody? It's the number one chief rocker at Knicks University, main man, Uncle Freezie, coming through to rock the spot. Recently, I saw some things. Recently, I've seen some things out here in the podcast space and just want to address it. So I'm just going to start with tired of, are you tired of millionaire rappers, actors, R&B singers, turning their group chats into podcasts? Me too. Right? While you have rappers arguing with their co-host, the 15,000 co-hosts they've had, and people recycling or oversharing stories from the past, Vibes and stuff is out here to give you real conversations for real people, right? No entourage, no Hollywood filters, just pure, uncut culture. For me and for Coach Malpica, for Corey Lee, for Bully, for IKBM Dre, for the Triborough Gigolo, for the original DSJ and others, this is not vanity projects for us, right? We don't come on here to flex about how much money we have. This is a carefully curated mix of old school flavor, street smart insight, and some late night barbershop type energy. I'm not here chasing clout, not trying to be famous. We are creating a community. We're not spilling celebrity tea. We're pouring wisdom and laughs and vibes in your ear like a perfectly blended mixtape. Vibes and stuff is for the day ones, the deep thinkers, the music lovers, the 30, 40, 50 somethings who still remember mixtape culture, and grown folks who don't need fame to speak facts, right? This is for those that understand the culture and live the culture every day, from music to swag, fashion, conversation, sports, storytelling, and all of that. So I'm just going to say this. Let them have the algorithm. What we have is soul, right? That's what we have. So if you here for a real podcast, and if you here for a real moderator, somebody that really know how to rock the spot, I'm your guy, the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezie. And so we're going to talk about how people have entered the podcast space and what it's doing to the podcast space, basically. Triborough Gigolo is in the building. Corey Lee in the place to be. What's good?
Salute, salute. Peace, God. Peace, 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 peace. What's good, Try?
What's good?
Yo, hey man, fellas, I was watching the Joe and Jada podcast Friday. It didn't come out Friday. I was watching it Friday, right? And I heard Fat Joe say that this guy was sitting in the Joe Budden seats. As soon as I heard that, as somebody that knows how to do podcasts, right, as an experienced person with podcasting and such, I automatically knew what that was.
Right.
Right. Now, it was funny, but I was like, oh, Joey Crack. Joe Crack is basically taking a shot at who he feels is in the number one spot.
Right.
Now, it was funny. It was funny. But yeah. What did y'all think about it? What did y'all think when y'all heard the comment? When he said when Joe said he only sit up front, he can't be overlooking people's shoulder. How you sitting behind your enemy and all that stuff. How did y'all feel about when y'all heard it?
Go ahead, Blood. Go ahead.
I think it's like for Fat Joe, like entering the podcast world. I think he's taking a shot at. To me, I think Joe Budden is like one of the best at what he do now. You know what I'm saying? And right. his topics range from different things, and I think when you have an artist like Fat Joe, we don't know Fat Joe for being a podcaster, and I think on top of that, you have Jadakiss, who's definitely not a podcaster. That's his partner now, and I think he took a shot at what people deem as one of the best in this realm, and I think that's big shoes to fill, like to trying to be like Joe Budden and what he does with his crew, and I think that's how I took it. I took it like he was taking a shot at the best, and maybe he feel like he could do better. But when I watch Joe and Jada, I'm looking at two artists that I don't look at them as people that's gonna discuss a wide range of topics other than hood stuff. You know what I'm saying? And especially for Jada, because like Jada, I love Jada, but I don't there's probably an audience for people that want to hear. Well, what does Jada think about politics? What does he think about Trump in office? What does he think about whatever's going on in the world at that time? And I think Joe does that well. I don't know about Fat Joe and Jada and what they're gonna bring, but I looked at it like he took a shot at who he felt like is the best in this podcast room.
Okay, all right, Lee, what'd you think when you saw it?
This man's treating the podcast world like the hip hop world, like the competition. Obviously, he's starting off. And he's seen with Cam and Maces. He's seen with a lot of these cats out here, the Whack 100s, the whomevers nowadays. Because every besides us, you really been out here shaking and baking for a good grip. These cats are coming into a realm where you've been doing things, handling things properly. Um, I saw that. Number one, that was a low bro. Number two, childish. Um, to some degree, classless. And just being messy all around. I mean, why you got to shoot shots in order to, what I'm saying, to get cats to come, watch your content? If you trust your content and you trust who you having a conversation with, it should be no problemo. I
Right.
mean, and if you got a beef, what I'm saying, as grown men, this is not a way we teach our youth. I tell like this, and considering like me, you, Fat Joe, I'm pretty sure because he's probably close to my age. Joe Budden, who's up there in them ages. We're grandfathers or in the grandfather realm. We should be trying to help nourish life instead of, teaching our youth how to basically just keeping our thuggish, rugged, bonus ways, which is crazy. We done moved on from that. And
Well,
we should be more polished as human beings.
yeah, I feel you. I feel a few ways. First of all, I think that in my view, the people with the most engaged, the biggest engaged audience isn't necessarily the best, right? I think they're probably exposed to the most. They might be the most powerful, right? I think the best podcaster in all this space is Uncle Freezie, yours truly. Period. Like, I don't think any of these dudes better than me. I watched Joe and Jada. I was like, they could have used me to moderate because all Jada did was laugh the whole time. And I love Jada.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I love Jada. But yo, you just did a laugh. Yeah. And Joe, like,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody is a better storyteller than Fat Joe except me. Right. In my opinion. Right. Like, I don't know if you was there for the Attilarit story. Were you there for the Attilarit story?
Oh my God.
I can't remember. I was there for a lot of the stories you told before though.
Were you there? Were you there for the watch story?
To watch.
Yeah, with my girl. I didn't know if I was in love or not, and she wanted me to buy her like the $12.99 watch, and I bought her the 1999 watch because I was flexing.
Oh yeah. That's the story of something about the Swatch watches or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
You can put the brand new face on it.
Yeah. So I think though, and my arrogance with this, or not overconfidence, but and my confidence in this thing, there are, first of all, the Jersey City part of me just can't just outwardly admit that Joe Budden is better than I am. Right? There's just a thing to it, right? But what I will say is that no podcaster, nobody that does this thing is great without the people that they bring on the podcast to help hold up greatness, right? Like me and Tron Burrow talking hip hop, me and Corey Lee talking life, me and Delano Steele Jr., the real Steele talking R&B, right? Me, Alawaz talking about 5%ers and Christianity, right? These guys, they take this space, and listen, the podcast space is for everybody. It's like hip hop. It's there for everybody, right? But there's an element to this podcasting thing, right? You have to engage your audience. Your audience has to be locked in. The audience has to kind of believe in you. And these guys, in a very unfair way, have a head start. Whereas as audiences have to get used to and learn and get comfortable with the number one Chief Rock, Uncle Freezie. You have to learn who I am, just like they have to learn about Triborough and his likes and dislikes, right? And Corey Lee, right? These guys, they already have their life out there on display, so all they have to do now is sit in front of a microphone and talk about the Grammys, right? They have like a real head start. But then when you hear them speak, though, I don't know if I really hear anything, right? Like I like the Joe and Jada podcast because it's funny, right? Because Joe Budden, who I'm a huge fan of Joe Crack, right? I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Musically, storytelling, all of that. But then it's like it's this thing, though. I'm not a rapper, right? And I don't have bread to put together squads to do albums and stuff. And so when what I do have is a limited budget, right? A wild imagination and a crazy work ethic. So I can spend a little bit of money and get a microphone, right? And then get here and do podcasts and stuff. So this podcast in place, I feel like is my safe space to grab talented individuals, form a collective, right? And in that collective, what we can do is share our stories, experiences, our input about a lot of stuff. That's why I take the podcast space so serious that every time I see any random Joe, no pun intended, whether it's Joe Crack or Joe Budden, any random Joe like this just jump in, I'm like, yo, we don't have studios to rap and all that stuff. And these dudes jump into this space and it almost discredits the people that are already here grinding away doing a thing. Like we don't have a Source magazine or a Vibe magazine to do our music critiques. So we come here to critique albums of the past, compare artists, and talk music. This is our space for the public. And now when it's invaded by Tank and the R&B Money guys, Sean Stockman and the Boys and Men people, and any random Joe Budden, Joe Crack, Fat Joe, when they enter this space, I'm like, well, if you enter the arena, at least enter the arena being great, right? Be great. Like, what do you have? Like, legit, what do you have to say outside of things that get random sophomore Snickers? Like, yo, I eat Mag Lizzie's. Yo, we gonna laugh. We gonna laugh. That's funny. But what are you saying though? Like, what's after that? Right? And no disrespect to Jada, who I love. Jada is my man. I love Jada. I love Jada since day one. I love Jada since If You Think I'm Jiggy. Even before that, probably. Even before that, right? Right? I love Jada since Gina Thompson. Right? Love Jada. But when it comes to this space that we occupy, I'm like, yo, when is the little guy gonna get a shot? Right? I don't rap, I don't sing, I don't make beats. Just an average guy, punch the clock, 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? 9 to 5. But what I do though is take what I hear in the streets, mix it with my experience, bring all my homeboys on board. We're gonna chop it up. When they get a little crazy, I reel them in. But for the most part, I'll be like, nah, man, what do we think about such and such and such? So when I saw Fat Joe, who's already established, already rich, you know what I'm saying, into the podcast game, because Joe has failed twice already at the podcast thing, right? This is not Joe Crack first time, right? And I'm not saying give up, right? I'm saying like Joe's not new to this. Joe's learning. He's learning in order to survive. It's like the early years of rap, right? In the early years of rap, in order to get on, you got to diss somebody. You got to diss somebody so you can get in, so you can get attention for what it is that you're doing. Like Supernature, when Supernature did this Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. Next thing you know, your grandma is in the grocery store singing to Push It, and she don't even know how Salt and Pepper even came about. She don't even know that Salt and Pepper started off as Supernature dissing Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Right? She don't even know Roxanne Shante, and basically the Juice Crew got on by dissing UTFO, a group that was the song Roxanne was produced by Full Force.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't know any of these things. So consider this my friendly diss to Joe Budden, who I respect. Jersey City in the building. I respect the heck out of Joe. Right? I respect the heck out of Joe. Right? I respect the heck out of Fat Joe. Right? But consider this my shot. I'm just a little guy. I'm just gonna do up my video here. Hope it gets 10,000 views. Hope we can generate 500, 750 subscribers out of this video. Triborough, as a longtime podcaster, content creator, social influencer yourself, how do you feel at my attempt at reaching for the stars at the same time defending home turf against new people entering the podcasting space?
I think you got to. I mean, you got to come in like I said the other podcast we had the night before that you got to have the confidence to do this, no matter what it is that you do, whether it's podcasting or being a doctor or a lawyer. You got to come in confident, knowing that I can do this. I can do this better than any other platform that's out there. I don't care who it is, Joe or Cam and Mace, Sean Stockman, whoever. And having the knowledge and having the experience in life and being able to discuss many different things is a plus. So you're not people see that you're not one track minded on, oh, he's just talking about so and so and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But when they come on to your platform, they're gonna be entertained because they never know what they're gonna get on any given night. Whenever you go live, you might talk about love and relationships or music or sports or whatever. And I think diversity is good. It's needed in these platforms because now there's too many platforms that's doing the same thing. Maybe 7-8 years ago when I started, it was not that many platforms discussing album reviews. Now everybody and their mama do album reviews, and it came to the point where I got tired of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a plus to tap into other lanes besides just one, and then that's it. And it's the new form of entertainment. Like there's gonna be a time when people stop watching television. It's gonna be everything's gonna be online, and it is now, and streaming, and people want to be entertained and they want to be informed about different things, and they want to reminisce about different things. Growing up in their childhood, and I think your platform is great, and to have many different people like myself and Corey and DSJ and Coach, and we can talk about anything, and it's great to have diversity and many, and also bringing on other different content creators as well. There's platforms that I've been on that sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. They want to just have the spotlight on them, but I think inviting the other content creators and that that their audience over to your platform is a plus.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. In terms of the content creation space, initially I was like, man, I tell these stories like, you and the homies get together, say you out somewhere, maybe at the bar, just having a drink or something, and you tell one of your secret stories, you're like, yo, don't tell nobody but such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? Just having a good time. And people kept telling me like, yo, why don't you write a book or something? Put this stuff in a book, dog. I was like, I don't know about writing a book just to share experiences and things of that sort. And then I came across the microphone. And it was like that Little Sean song, I made love for the very first time You know what I'm saying? Clap your hands because the moms kind of fly. You know what I'm saying? For those that remember Lil Sean, shout out to Lil Sean, man. But when I think I saw somebody was mad whack, and it was like they had like 200,000 views, and they had like 25,000 subscribers. And the person I was looking at, I'm like, this person whack. And right, so in my mind, I'm like, yo, you know what? Uncle Freezie, why don't you try it? I turned the microphone on for the first time. And Lee, what's the name of the song? Ain't No Stopping Us Now. You don't remember who sung that song? Ain't no stopping us now.
Ah,
was,
man.
the McFadden and McFadden.
McFadden and Whitehead and Peoples.
Yeah, McFadden and Whitehead. My bad.
No, McFadden and Whitehead.
Yeah,
McFadden and Whitehead. Yeah.
Try Burrows on it.
Yeah. Shout out to HRM. HRM is in the building. Boulevard Rod is in the building. Salute, Bully. Yo, just real quick, guys. I got to shout out Bully real quick. Bully, hand to the man, yo. I was at a birthday party yesterday. You know, Saturdays, people love doing birthday parties on Saturdays, like Saturday afternoons. So, you know, I'm getting fresh. You know what I'm saying? I'm Lee, I'm like, yo, what do I wear to like a little kid birthday party? Do you put on your best? Can't believe that she said yes. Do you get super fresh? Or do you just rag up a little bit because you might be running behind kids, and kids might be, when you around kids, you know, ain't no telling what's gonna happen to your clothes, right? Bro. So I'm like in between. I'm like, yo, I don't know. Do I put jewelry on? Do I, you know what I'm saying? Do I put? So here's the real dilemma I had. Do I wear these white Jordan 11s to a little kid birthday party?
Not if you're gonna be in no grass.
Well,
all these little things, right?
Was it a formal party?
Nah, it's little kids, 3-year-olds.
Okay, so yeah, I think you could wear
it. Nah, not in the grass, bro. Not white joints. No.
Oh, it's all white? Oh, nah.
Nah, I was thinking about putting on white. You know, it's not summer yet. It's not summer, but I was like, yo, I got this white outfit, like this really thin white hoodie, like real thin, like the ones I be wearing at night. The ones I be wearing at night on the show. I got a white one. I'm like, do I wear that? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, throwing them Jordan 11s, throwing some jewelry, you know, or do I, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, throw on some joggers and like some Jordans or whatever and just go out. And so I throw on just some joggers. I throw on some khaki Reebok shorts. Y'all, it was like Reebok shorts. They khaki, kind of like this color here.
Yeah.
Like the khaki Reebok shorts. You know, the old man Reebok shorts.
Yeah. Shoot, khaki ain't no old man shorts. Those are chilling. You chilling though.
Yeah. They poppy.
With the 17 pockets in it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Nah, not cargo shorts.
Okay.
No, not cargo. No, they just khaki. They like they look like golf pants, but they athletic.
Okay.
Like you could probably do a little something in it, right? And so get dressed, go, right? You know, go over and whatever. So we go to the thing, and yo, Coach Malpica's in the building. Salute, Coach.
Coach,
salute, fellas.
So hey, salute. So as soon as I walk in, I'm like, yo, we walk in the spot. I see all the mommies in there. They like, hey, Uncle Freezie. And y'all know I'm a little bit loud, but not very.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little. So I walk in there. I'm like, yo, what's good? And it's like this echo is in there. Everybody turn around. Like, hey, that's a little kid birthday party. It's like one of those shell buildings. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the tin roof or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Coach lived down, so he know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And so I go in. They're like, nah, you gotta eat something. I'm like, nah, man, I can't eat. Look what I got on. Like, now you at a birthday party. And I'm like, well, good thing I didn't wear that white outfit. So I go up to the thing. Bully, guess what the first thing they offer me, Bully? As soon as I already know.
know, I
Don't
know.
spoil it, bro. Don't spoil it. Let Bully. Hey, Bully, guess what the first thing? Lee want to spoil it bad, bro. Lee Abbey ain't even Lee Abbey up, but I can still see his face, bro. Bully, guess what the first thing they offer me, bro? The chick offered me pasta salad.
The grandma special.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And with shrimps in it. Like, yo, I got a shellfish allergy, bro. I can't eat shrimps.
Right.
Like, I can't eat shrimps and oyster and clams and all of that, man. So I'm in there, like, I'm like thinking I'm being pranked. Miss Mocha, who with me, she busts out laughing. She busts out laughing. She dying. And so her sister is trying to figure out what she laughing at. And I'm like, and she's like, and Miss Mocha, she dying laughing. I walk over to my sister. I'm like, hey, I can't eat. I'm a man. I can't eat this. She like, eat what? I'm like, come on, man. Y'all gonna offer me pasta salad with the spaghetti noodles and the shrimps? Come on, man.
Spaghetti noodles.
But let me
hold on. No elbow macaroni, no bow tie.
No.
Hold on a second. No rigatoni.
No.
Spaghetti noodles.
Spaghetti noodles, bro.
Are they from New Orleans or something like that? Louisiana?
Huh?
They from Louisiana?
Miss Mo, what'd you say, Mo? Oh, she said her niece made it.
Is she from like Louisiana? That's the only place I know that's the only place I know in the United States that would use regular spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, she young.
Because they do that. If you go to like the Baton Rouge or someplace like that, when you get your macaroni, you ask for macaroni and cheese, it looks like spaghetti.
Oh, nah, bro.
That's why I asked those questions.
Oh, bro. Nah, she young. She like 28. She like 28. How old is she? Oh, she 30. Mo in here sticking up for her. Hey,
we ain't trying to take her head off. I'm just asking the question.
This ain't the Bahama Mama. When the Bahama Mama podcast come on, I'll come rock with y'all. So, but yeah, man. So I just want to say this to all the pimps out there, all the players, all the thugs, all the hardcore dudes, all the athletes, all the hard rocks out there. I better not never see y'all eating no pasta salad, bro. I will tackle you to the ground.
I like pasta salad.
And I will tackle your ass to the ground.
Hey, my wife make
I never see Coach eat no pasta salad.
Yo, my wife
putting tuna in it though.
My wife, that's what my wife does though with the tuna.
Oh, I just don't like it with the tuna.
My wife does. That's like her signature barbecue dish. I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, you do that. Like that keeps her busy, keeps her hell away from me while I'm messing with the grill though.
Yeah.
Try, bro. Let me ask you this, Try. I'm gonna ask you this. I've been knowing you a long time, bro. I've been knowing you longer than actually everybody here on the panel, right? And I'm gonna ask you this sincerely. Do you eat pasta salad?
The tuna pasta salad. But that's only in the summertime, cause like if the family if they don't want to like cook, and they'll make like the tuna pasta salad. It's something light.
Hey, pass the car keys. Triborough up here talking about heat. What'd you say? Triborough, what'd you say, bro?
It's a light dish for the summer. That's the only time I eat it is during the summertime.
You eat pasta salad? Oh God!
During the summertime.
Where the key? Hey, Coach. I'll be right back, man. I'm on my way to New York, bro.
Man.
Bro, listen, man. You gotta understand, y'all. Nobody wants to be in the oven. In the kitchen making macaroni and cheese.
Right.
In a hot ass summer. I'm sorry. Man. And then to keep my wife busy, you don't understand. Listen, bro. I think Freezie been around. I've been on the screen. I know Bully. I sent Bully some pictures and Wiser seen it where I'm like on a podcast and I'm in the middle of a barbecue, getting together. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing.
Can I have another one?
And so I just don't like to be bothered because also too, there's another thing. I do not allow nobody to touch my grill
Yo!
when I'm cooking.
Bro, I bet you Fat Joe eats pasta salad.
He looked like it.
Man, listen,
Big-ass
ain't too much Fat Joe ain't missed in his life.
No, Fat Joe don't mess with pasta salad. That's picnic food for people with sandals and no rhythm.
He lives in Florida now. He lives in Miami.
He in Miami wearing pink hoodies on podcast.
And John Cletas.
He's more arroz con gandules.
Nah, it don't matter, yo. You gotta think he done grew up in the South Bronx with the homies, yo. He don't have pasta salad.
Pastelón.
Heck yeah, he done had all that, bro. Dude, they eat pasta. What up, bro?
What up, yo?
Lily,
I ain't gonna
what's
stay up
good?
too. What's good? What up, coach?
Yo, you got a frog in your throat?
Nah, he need to add some lotion to that throat.
I told you stop fucking with that damn pasta salad, dog.
That's from the Nick. That's from the Nick game. He was yelling.
No, I got strep throat.
Because you messing with that pasta salad, dog.
That's it.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Strawberry? What up, coach?
What up?
Yo, Sealy, my brother. Big Freezie, my brother. What's
Y'all
going
gotta
on?
explain this to me, bro. Y'all gotta explain this to me. Hey, coach, what is? Can you explain to me what the real pasta salad recipe is?
I mean, to me, my personal taste is not that tri-colored one with the spirals. That's gross. You know what I'm talking about? The one with the white and the green ones and the.
I'm talking about the vegetable macaroni.
Yeah, that veggie macaroni. You gotta have classic elbow. You gotta have finely diced. You can't have big old chunks in there. Really finely diced green and red peppers and onion. Like really, really small. Some people don't like chewing that with a big piece of pepper and onions. And you gotta have the Hellman's, bro. That Hellman's mayo.
Oh my god.
Good.
You know,
some people make it with Miracle Whip.
some people make it with Italian dressing.
Italian
Yeah.
dressing.
Yeah, I put a little squirt of that. Then I actually do put a pinch of sugar in it.
See,
Sweet tang to it. Not a lot where it's crazy. But
Freezie, so you was going to body slam somebody if you would have ate that?
But some people put like peas in it. Crazy.
that's Brooklyn style right there, bro.
No, the hell it ain't. No, it's not.
It's the people who gentrifying Brooklyn now. I'll give them that.
You ain't see the boat crash into the Brooklyn Bridge, right?
Coach, what else you put in there, bro? I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, that's what I put in there. But then some people will put I've seen people put black olives in it. I've seen people put cucumbers and tomatoes and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh boy. Now that's just a regular salad with. Now, never mind. Instead of having lettuce, that's just.
Now I've made just to try it, maybe because I was smoking Jamaican cigarettes, but I made I made like a chopped Italian sub potato salad before.
Potato?
Like the Italian sub, pepperoni and salami.
Yeah, the chop Italian salad.
Yeah, like I chop it. You chop up those with some mozzarella or provolone. You mix that in with the potato salad. It's pretty fire, actually.
Fellas, I'm getting off the phone. My baby telling me to get off the phone.
But I definitely.
But I'm gonna be in the chat, man. Thank you, Coach, from the other day when the when Knicks was on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right, boss.
C. Lee and Freeze and your Strawberry. I'll talk to y'all. Y'all got the numbers. But baby girl.
We get better, man.
Yeah.
Yo, stay off that damn pasta salad, bro.
Hey, man.
That's why your voice messed up.
I
Either
cut this
hot
tape back.
tea and honey and lemon.
Yeah.
Shoot me, he just need to put some Vaseline down his throat, like Marlboro.
Oh,
Oh, relax, pause.
relax, yeah, man.
Yo,
Nigga,
what's going on in
hey,
these
yo,
New
hey,
York?
nigga.
Stand up.
Because his voice is ashy. It's just ashy. That's all.
See,
That's
Some
no
Hen-
to it.
drink
when I
some
get you, I'm gonna
Hennessy,
get
it'll
you.
numb it up.
No doubt. Yeah, that's what I'm getting some right now. See, Lee, when I get you, when I call you, I'm gonna get you, homeboy, for that. Word. Word.
Yo,
All right, man.
Rapperoni.
Rack of yeah, okay. Rack
He gonna send me some pasta salad anyway, so it's all good.
I'm gonna
Yo,
be listening in the back.
Try, please save me. Yo, throw me a lifesaver, bro. Yo, why we up here? Why we up here talking about some damn pasta salad? Dudes is grown men from New York. Dudes from Brownsville is talking about Vaseline down their throat.
I prefer potato
What's
salad.
going on? Trey, you know we don't never talk like that, bro. We don't Coach, we ever cross that line, bro?
Hell yeah.
Yo.
Man, y'all joking. You know what I'm talking about when I said his voice is ashy.
Nah, he was like, sure.
Oh, now you playing him out.
Nah, that man said, sure. Bro. Okay, nah.
He was sure with the Hennessy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I prefer potato salad anyway.
To pasta salad?
Yeah. Potato salad. Like, make a good southern potato salad. You got to use them Yukon Gold potatoes.
Yeah, man. Yo, you don't worry about carbs, bro?
Do I look like I worry about carbs?
Nah, man, not like that, but you know what I mean.
No, man. I mean, if you're gonna take in carbs, might as well be potatoes because they're natural. They're not processed and stuff like pasta or rice. Like, if you're gonna take in carbs, at least if you take it in from potatoes and vegetables and stuff, at least it's a natural source. I really need to make myself. I told myself I was going to do this a few times. I just never get around to it. Only shop on the outside of the supermarket.
Yeah,
Everything that's on the outside
is healthy.
Yeah, because they say that none of that's got the preservatives and the stuff that's not shelf stable. Like that's all the stuff you got to keep refrigerated. When you start going down that middle aisles, that's the bad stuff.
Yo, you ever notice is easy, like Chopper, you ever notice it's easy to do a show when you are doing a podcast with professional podcasters? You know how there's a flow to the show, like when Coach was talking just now, like Coach could stay like in a certain bag. You know what I'm saying? Like stay focused on a thing. Whereas he put in mad hours of being a content creator and like hone his craft or whatever. And so the thing that's the reason why I have the beef with Fat Joe and Jada. It's like, bro, just because you famous, you can do a podcast now. Like you ain't even got to be good. You just like, yo, we get a production company. Create our own production company. Start it from scratch. Get all the production, mics, mixers, lights, studio, all this stuff, and just do a podcast. Right?
Fat Joe and Jada got a podcast?
Yeah, Fat Joe and Jada have a podcast. That's why we here.
Together?
Brand new.
Yeah.
Oh.
You ain't seen that, bro?
I don't feel Fat Joe that much.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not saying he's not authentic, but I don't know. I think he puts on that Bronx Puerto Rican vibe too much. Like he's like a cartoon version of it.
Wow.
He plays it up too much.
So you really don't like Cardi B then?
Well, I mean, the male side of me, there's certain things I like about Cardi B, but
Yeah,
she, she puts it on too.
Just turn the volume down. Just turn the TV on mute.
Yeah,
Cardi B be on.
I mean, she has a funny sense of humor though. Like I've seen her interviews and stuff.
Right.
But I like when she's a little more authentic and really herself instead of that. Well, it's like, remember Fran Drescher, the nanny?
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, she's not really, she doesn't normally talk with it. Everyone sees her that way. But I mean, she's definitely a New Yorker, but
yeah,
she really turns on the Jewish.
Yeah, I was about to
New
say
Yorker thing,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
the Yiddish vibe, the Yiddish
Yeah.
vibe.
Oh my God. Like, I mean, growing up with all them Italian princesses on Long Island, bro, it's like,
right.
They're a dime a dozen, them girls, man. It's like, I see so many of them turn it on, like, so heavy, putting on a show, you know what I'm saying?
So the thing is with Fat Joe, and I'm sorry, it's not that I have the target on Fat Joe or Joe Budden. I have the target on the celebrities that occupy a certain space, and then they come over to our space and try to take it over just because they're famous.
Right.
Like they don't even have to have content, right? Like it's like
it's this head start.
Right, now, let me ask you a question. Like, do you think, all right, do you think they're just not getting enough streams anymore? And they're lacking in that area, so they got to try to broaden their horizons, try to, secure a bag too?
No, I think podcasting is lucrative.
Mhm.
Podcasting is lucrative, right? But it's competitive.
Mhm.
So little guys like Uncle Freezie, I have to fight against. Like behind the scenes with what y'all don't know is the people that sponsor shows, they get a pool of money at the beginning of every year.
Mhm.
Right. And podcasters basically fight for that money behind the scenes. Like
It's like a gladiators.
Yeah, and so the big guys with the bigger audiences, they get it first because they have a broader reach, and the companies would gladly associate with them more because of relationships that they already have or whatever, right? Podcasters at my size, I have to convince them that my audience fits what they're trying to sell, right?
The demographic.
Yeah. So I have to go through these constant emails back and forth, and they'll watch the channel. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't know. You had a guy on there a few months ago, and he was kind of not the guy that kind of we want to associate with." And I'm like, that guy hadn't been around in a while, and we've been cleaning up some stuff. And they say stuff like, "Well, give us some time to think about it. Maybe we can, circle back next year, when we have moment." And so while they just show up like, "Hey, we doing a podcast. We want you to sponsor," and they're like, "Yep, okay." Guys like me, I have to kind of mold this thing and be sellable, not to an audience, but sellable to a sponsor, because not only does sponsorship of the channel help the people that watch, but it also validates our existence. Like, the Uncle Freezie show is sponsored by AT&T. That must mean AT&T thinks Uncle Freezie is official, right? But for the big guys, they already sold records. They already went down that path. They have record label, such and such relationships and all that stuff. All they have to do is turn their mics on and talk about what they wore to the Knicks game, right? And so when I see people jump into this space, I kind of get like in that crabs in a barrel mentality, where you want to defend your turf because you've been plying your trade for so many years. Maybe you had an argument with Coach on such and such show about such and such to try to help Coach get better. Maybe Coach said something to Uncle Freezie to try to help him get better. Maybe I said something to Corey Lee on such and such show to try to help, all in order for us to look better, to the public and to sponsors. But these dudes, they just show up with jewelry on and talk about how they was at the club with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Right. And so if it seems like I'm a little like frustrated that the one thing that you felt like the one lane that you had to get to people and have people enjoy your content is always being invaded by dudes that got tired of doing one thing and now they want to come into your space and not take away viewers because they probably bring more viewers, but they take away other opportunities, right? They won't take away because the people that like you will like you, right? And the people that watch your show, you give them one chance to like you or dislike you. A lot of times people will like you. If they click on your thumbnail, that means they're interested in something, right? But man, but try when you watch these dudes come into our space and they don't have anything to say. Now I'm like, yo, what y'all even doing over here?
I agree. I mean, I think it's just because it's Fat Joe and Jada. People gonna tune in because, Jada's a lot of people's favorite MC.
Right.
Fat Joe, the stuff that he did in the '90s. They want to see what these two got to say, and I think that's why they're gonna have views or whatever. But like you said, like they're not really taking it seriously like us, who like we started doing this stuff for years. We didn't just wake up one day and say, "Yo, let's start a podcast." And I think that's the downside of it.
Yeah, but you never see someone who's fire and it like Eminem don't have a podcast. Drake don't. Lil Wayne. Well, I guess Lil Wayne goes on some here and there.
Right.
I don't think he has his own. But like, it's almost like they know their own mortality. Like Fat Joe, he ain't had his rap game, music game in the real spotlight in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
He just hasn't hit. He hasn't had a hit, and he's not really hitting too many tours right now.
Yeah.
And it's also to Coach. It's just something to keep his big self active, and because he's been on so many different podcasts, from like drink camps and what's your guy name?
Well,
They
the
call him
radio with Funk Flex and all these guys too.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like he's been on everybody, and he sees how everybody's doing it, and everybody getting a little bag from it, and he's like, well, now it's my possibly it's his way of getting in there. And then they say that Fat Joe got some great stories, even though I think he's what's the word I'm thinking of? He hits it with a lot of hyperbole, you know what I'm saying, and put some things, but nevertheless, just to sell content and stuff like that, that's what he's gonna do. So you're gonna hear that Mike Tyson story. You're probably gonna hear some more other big pun stories and whatnot. It's gonna be interesting. Don't forget when he was in the Fed story. Oh my God. Here we come with wait till y'all hear those little silly soliloquies. You know what I'm saying? It's just, some of it's far fetched and you, Freezie, knowing the justice system, you know what I'm saying? You understand and we through the BS.
Right. Well, the thing is about them, like I'm not mad at their lives.
Mhm.
Their lives is theirs to live.
Mhm.
Right. I'm frustrated with the decision. See, because the thing about it, Coach, and Try, is in this moment, we are the small mom and pop stores fending off the Walmarts and Amazons. That's what this fight is that's what this fight basically is. Right? Like say for instance, say Coach just want to do parody songs or jingles or whatever, and occasionally talk Knicks or whatever, and then Jada and Fat Joe have albums out and they go to Knicks games. Who do you think people are gonna tune in to see?
Yeah.
These dudes have platinum songs and albums, and they sit at the Knicks games courtside. Somebody's gonna listen to Coach, or they're gonna listen to Fat Joe and Jada. Right? Now, here's the thing. You don't know the answer to that question. But what that question presents, though, is the challenge of Coach having to be that much doper than Jada and Fat Joe. Because we don't know. The viewer may watch one or the other. They may watch none, or they may watch both. Right? But how do they get that? But if Coach is up against them, that means Coach's thumbnails have to be fire. Coach's YouTube descriptions have got to be fire. Coach probably has to do a monologue to start the joint, because for people that don't know him, he has to do and basically introduce himself to a new audience every show. Right? The people that tune in, that are subscribed to the channel, they know Coach, tune into the opening monologue, so they try to get there early to hear Coach monologue or whatever. Right? So you combine all these things, you put all these things in place, when all Joe got to do is show up with a Supreme hoodie on, and everything is validated. They don't even make Supreme hoodies in me and Coach size. They don't even make 3Xs. You feel me? You see what I'm getting at? It's like Amazon taking out the mom and pops. It's like it's monopoly, basically. And the loser is not Uncle Freezie, because Uncle Freezie gonna be fine, right? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go in here and get me a Omaha. I'm gonna go in here and open a bottle of Omaha Steakhouse wine, pour it in a very clean glass, and talk dirty to a smoking hot wife. That's me. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be fine, right? But people are gonna miss out on dope content, though, right? That's how we all came together. We all came together because it was something about what we were doing that we liked, right? So, Coach, what do you think about that comparison? Like the big guys coming in, taking out the little guys.
I mean, look, it's America. The internet is free market or whatever, anyone could do it. I respect that, and I respect them wanting to grind, blah, blah, blah. But to me, I just don't like, if I had bread like them, I wouldn't just have some cameras roll up in my crib or wherever they film it. I'd explore the world and enjoy my money. Like, I wouldn't try to cut in on stuff that, I mean, if you got a voice about something, I get it, but what are they contributing? They're just talking to their other rap friends or actors or sport friends they know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying you have to contribute something to society to be, respected in the podcast game, because there's a lot of, but how entertaining is it? Like, are you learning anything from it? Does it entertain you? Like, to me, nah. It's just like, a lot of times them kind of things they're interviewing people you ain't seen in a minute, or you might start learning some insight maybe, or some about some personality of someone you never saw talk much before, I guess. But besides that, I don't think they're really contributing anything, because just because they had a hit record or two in the rap game or whatever, it doesn't make them, an expert or entertaining in other avenues just because they got famous from one thing, So I don't know. I guess because I'm someone that's in a little bit of the game, I don't want to say I'm envious or jealous, but it just sucks because they already got the one thing that's the hardest thing to get going in this game is get eyes on your product and ears on your product. And that's something they automatically get just because they have a name already. The content could be whack, and it's just because it's Fat Joe or Mike Tyson or Joe wrote, whoever it is, it's automatically going to have people tune in, even if it's just for a few minutes. And then it's like, this is whack, I'm out of here. But it shows they got that view. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Corey. My bad.
You get me?
I want to say this. What they're selling is celebrities. But then you know how back in the day, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, this is just a rewash of just another product. They were all we had Sean John.
Right.
We had what was it? I forgot. The 50-50 doing the joint venture with Reebok. Fat Joe had his little clothing brand.
Right.
It's a fad for them right now, and they basically Polo would be Polo if Polo didn't start off somewhere, and that's what we are. We're Freezie Lauren. You know what I'm saying?
Fubu.
So yeah, but we're a product that's been building over a year that has a certain type of reputation, and then they're trying to just come in and sell stuff off the celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Off their celebrity. They're trying to make money off their celebrity and off the fact that they have certain connections, and they can tell a couple of juicy stories from back in the day. I think they're gonna come and go quick because people gonna get tired of listening to them, or somebody's gonna call them out, or something's gonna happen where they're not gonna be able to put out as much content as we do. So I'll sit back, I'm waiting, watching, and waiting. And then
right. So let me say this real quickly. So if this is your first time watching this, if you're watching on X, man, follow us on X to get more content like this. Give us that thumbs up. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, consider membership, help the channel grow. The one thing we know for sure is that Uncle Freezie is committed to providing content all the time, right? So it's not like there'll be a drought of content. We're gonna be here doing album reviews, lists. We're gonna be talking about the stuff that y'all are interested in. Coming up this week, I'm gonna start talking more about the Diddy and Cassie trial a little bit. I'm gonna just record videos on it and post up here. Do a little bit about politics up here, just a little bit. No one side or the other, but just some broad painting there, and depending on how depending on what your response is to it, we can get more in depth. But we got to see, give the people what they want. Last night or early this morning, Allah Wise, myself, and Fritz Alcindor had the 5%er conversation, 5%er and Christian and Jehovah's Witnesses. We had that conversation. So man, make sure y'all go back and watch that. That was very entertaining, in my opinion. On that note, I just want to say this to Lee. Lee, I don't fear the big guy. I never have. I don't care if it's the big guy in power or the big guy in size. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I have a screw loose, right? But in terms of the Joe Budden podcast, I know it's dope, right? I don't think Joe Budden is better than me, right? I just think Joe Budden is more powerful. He knows the ins and outs. He knows how to get to an audience, right? I don't know if Joe Budden can connect with an audience like I do, right? So with that, I'm gonna say this. The reason why I think I connect with an audience is because I am the audience, right? I am the audience. I take feedback. People tell me stuff, come to me all the time about things. Yo, why y'all talk about this all the time? Why don't y'all talk about that? Like, why do y'all talk about rap all the time or rock all the time, but you never talk about how Flea played on the #1 song in the country, "Bust a Move" by Young MC. Why y'all don't talk about that? I'm like, hey, I knew that. I just never put the 2 and 2 together. But you know what? We can. How about we talk about rappers and rockers making songs together? Why not? It's happened more than one time. Why not do that? Right? Try, how do you feel about where you stand in the podcast community, knowing that not only is Joe and Jada entering the arena, that it might open the door to others like Ice Cube, Coogee Rap, Drake, Kendrick, Jermaine. And it might open this might be a gateway for everybody to get to basically, in theory, retire from rap and into this new space. Like, what do you think about the competition becoming greater in this space?
I can't worry about the competition. I gotta worry about what I'm doing, and I think that's for anybody that's entering this realm. The problem. I don't think the problem with them being a celebrity is an issue. It's more like if they enter this realm, what insight are you giving to the fans? So there's fans, your fans are tapping in to see what you got to say, and what are you going to say to them that's going to keep them interested in going back to watch your podcast over and over again? And I think with when you look at Sean Stockman when his podcast, like he's very insightful on different songs that him and Boyz II Men recorded and how they were feeling. Whatever guest he has on, he talks about asking them questions that the fans want to know. And I think you got to be insightful when it comes to for those celebrities and talking about things that the fans want to hear. Not well, you was at a party or you was at the Met Gala, and I don't think the fans care about that. They want to hear
Right.
stuff that we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for me, it's easy for me because like I grew up in this culture. Like this culture raised me, and I'm just sharing my experiences with other people that could relate across the world or whatever. So it's easier for me. You know what I'm saying? And I can't worry about the celebrities and they trying to enter the space and what they plan on doing. It's like I gotta keep doing me, and that's what I've been doing. And there's gonna be competition, but I look at it like you gotta maybe not look at it as competition, but more like be friends with them, and invite them on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of content creators that I've met just by doing this
Mhm.
and actually met in person and we friends now and all over, like different countries, different
Right.
cities, and it's been fun. You know what I mean? And but I think for the celebrities, for them to enter this realm, it can't be all this about like that's what I like about Joe Budden's podcast because he never uses whatever clout that he has when it comes to his platform. He's just talking about the current events, and they usually stay on the current events. He's not talking about well, I was at this party, and you know what I mean. He doesn't do that, and I think that's why people like him because he's down to earth and they can relate to that. But when you look at Fat Joe and Jada, it's like Jada's not really saying much. He's just there laughing. We want to hear
Yeah.
like insight, like what was it like when you and the Locks decided to go solo, and what was it like to leave Bad Boy? Stuff like that I want to hear about as a fan. I don't care about what party they went to. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think for a lot of them it's just gonna be another check, and then like for some of them like a Sean Stockman and for Joe Budden, they're gonna stay true to the culture and talk about the experiences within the industry.
Yeah. Like for me, I see it as this: like they're already famous. Like this ain't like a struggle for them. So like podcasting and shows like this, it used to be for like the voices you never heard. Like that's how it got started. Now it's like turned into like just another celebrity side hustle. Like these guys got platinum plaques, label money, radio plugs, and like celeb guests like right out the gate. We're out here editing on our phones and promoting by hand. You know, it's like NBA stars, you know, dropping into the local rec league and acting like they built the gym. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
and you know, they get credit like just for showing up. Like Joe Budden. I mean, no offense. I mean, I've seen a little bit of Joe Budden, so it's all right. But like Joe Budden drops a mic, you know, with a comment or something he talks about, and people act like it's like, you know, the Gettysburg Address or something. You know, like Fat Joe tells a story he's already told. I've heard like 2 or 3 times, you know, and it's trending. Like meanwhile, like small podcasters that have like fire topics. Like I've heard you guys have stuff like would get 11 views and a spam bot in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Like if a regular podcaster said the stuff that they said, like no one would care. But like to me, like some of the content we've had before and some of the people we're surrounded by, like it's been fire. And it's like it's unfortunate only like 50, 100 you know, views, you know, and it's almost like I feel like when rappers do it, celebrities like that, it's like they treat it like a mixtape.
Right.
Like we treat it like a craft. Like to us,
Right.
this is a craft. Like sound quality, flow, like the content
Right.
structure, like maybe the editing and the thumbnails. You know, it's a job. You know, these legends like got some guy that was probably with them already or some assistant they had. They're setting all the stuff up for them. You know, and
Right.
they just talking to the mic with no format, no prep.
I got the coach. Can you imagine how dope our show could be if I could just focus on the content? No thumbnails, no grabbing guests, none of this other stuff. What if Uncle Freezie could just walk up to the mic? Like, what if you gave me 24 hours to think about a topic and say, hey man, we cranking it up tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, well, what do I need to do? Hey dog, just show up.
Right.
What? So I got 24 hours to think about the topic and I don't have to do anything except show up?
Yeah.
Do you know what this channel would be like? So
yeah.
So I feel you. I feel you.
And the thing is it's not like it's not like hating. It's just like it's just a little frustration. Like this podcasting and this medium of like talking and people having voices to other people, like it was the last like free space for creative voices who didn't have Hollywood or record labels behind them. Like this was like the last free space for that. Like where we didn't have to have some huge backing company or corporation or record label, something conglomerate to push it out there to everybody. You know, so you know, now it's just like another market that these legacy artists are cornering. They're starting to corner the market, like these comedians, you know, the rappers and the ex-athletes. And to me, I'm not doubting their passion for it, but I don't think it's because they love it. Because they see the dollar signs, bro.
Or it's something to do.
It's easy money and they're bored. They're used to making a certain level of money for doing something that's comfortable and they're passionate about. It's fun to them. You know, like Jada Kiss launching a spice company and then podcasting like Joe Rogan overnight. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because the algorithm loves his name. Like, that's not grind to me. That's like just leverage.
Wait a minute. So in order to have a dope podcast, you got to put Joe in the title. So you got to be Joe Budden, Joe Rogan, or Fat Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Maybe we should be called
Freezie.
Vibes and Joes and stuff.
Joes and stuff. Right.
We're just some average Joes, you know. But like, I don't know. It's kind of like a cultural cannibalism, man. Like they're taking up space without giving it back. Like what's wild is like they don't even lift up the smaller shows. You know what I'm saying? Like they rarely. I mean, it kind of happens in our platform too. Like when we do some of the sports stuff, like the Knicks content. I mean, if I got real big about this just comes from my own personality. Like when I was a running back, I wasn't too bad. I always, even in high school, I did this. And I always taught my running backs this when I coached them. Like I always gave my linemen their props. Like even though I broke 3 tackles in the backfield or whatever, I scored a touchdown, I'm still giving my linemen their props. Like I openly did it. Like every time I scored a touchdown, I would high five all 5 of my linemen every time.
Right.
And when I got interviewed by the newspaper after the game, I always gave them their love because it made them want to fight and die for me when I did that. So the only time you ever hear a lineman is when they do something wrong.
Right.
So my analogy with that is, if I had a super popular, podcast, I mean, I would at least once I would have that thing every week, like a shout out to like one that's coming up, or even bring one on my show and like put them out there. You know what I'm saying? If I think they're kind of dope, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying people got to be like me, but it's wild that they don't even lift up the little guy, the little people that helped them get to where they were, the ones that buy their albums. They rarely platform like young podcasters or give flowers to unknowns. They just rotate the same A or B list guests and retell old rap beef stories. I mean, if they care so much about the culture, why aren't they ever sitting down with like underground podcasters or collabing with some of the little guys or unknown guys, Just saying.
Man, that must have been building up. That must have been building up, bro. You had a yeah. Yo,
I mean,
my man went off. My man went intellectually. He went off, bro. Like, coach, that's been on your mind for a minute, bro. You been holding back.
Well, it's stuff like for me, like even though I'm not shy to let stuff out, like I'm not afraid to let out my opinion on some stuff. But like, what up, Fritz? Like, I'll watch or listen to one of them dudes, and kind of the things I just spouted off about, roll around in my head. Like, man, this right here, like, and if I was with someone watching it, that's something I would say to them, man. This dude, blah blah blah. And it just after a while it snowballs and builds up. And now I got a platform with you gentlemen. Something I would, it made me think about it. It's something I've always thought about, but never had the platform or someone ask me what I think about it. Especially because I'm vaguely in the game, of it. Like I am a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little envious of it. I don't think they're special or anything, or I want their life or nothing, but I'd love to just do this and just get paid just enough to pay my bills. I don't need to be rich.
Right.
I mean, if it turns into it, that's nice.
Right.
But I love it. And two of my favorite things to do in life, I mean, besides music and eat, and watch sports. Like I love entertaining people, like making people smile and laugh. I've always had that in me. Like when I was always kind of the class clown or whatever. And the other part of me, I love introducing people to something they didn't know about before, like dropping some knowledge on somebody or showing something a little different and then them really being into it, or like becoming a fan of something that I turned them on to or something. So, you know, like, and that's part of this platform, you know, like you can drop knowledge on people and you can entertain people, make them smile or laugh, you know, if you have a funny anecdote. You know, I'm not saying we got to be like jackass and, you know, staple our nutsack to our thigh or nothing, you know?
Right. Right.
But hey, so some people think that's funny. I mean, I've laughed at that and stuff like that. But I just think there's a voice for everybody, and there's people out there like I would have never met all you awesome gentlemen, you know, we didn't have this medium. We didn't all have love for the Knicks.
Right.
You know, it's and it's a shame because the more and more celebrities that do this stuff, you know, it's going to oversaturate, you know, and I'm not, you know, my opportunity to meet people like y'all are going to be getting slimmer and slimmer.
Right.
I'm glad we, you know, where we're at.
And we're here. And one of the things too is that we embrace diversity, but not in that conventional on the forehead sense. Like we embrace diversity in the sense that the personalities are diverse,
Right?
and not skin color.
Of course, yes.
Right. The thing is, Fritz Alcindor and I are probably polar opposites, right? But it's the reason why we can have conversations that are deep and layered and that matter, because I'm willing to listen to what Fritz Alcindor has to say, right? Because even though we're opposites, you know what I'm saying, I feel like he's smart, knows how to speak and carry himself, and understands the topic, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of hard to get, because sometimes, and try, you know this, sometimes you get around somebody who just want to talk, and guess what they do? They talk.
They don't listen.
Yeah, coach, you know, y'all know, coach, yo, Cully the other night, bro. I just wanted to talk. That's my guy, and I love him. Fritz, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, you're
good, bro. I like them neon lights behind you.
Neon. Man.
You know, like one other little part is like, because you know, I want to touch on things that we cover in our show. Like, say we drop a podcast about like relationships and dating and real like masculinity and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's crickets. You know, we get nothing. But they mumble something like, "I used to date Maya."
Yeah.
You know, or something, and it gets clipped like 50,000 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're playing the algorithm, not the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
So, you know, the whole clickbait thing and the thumbnails. I mean, they play that game on TikTok and IG. Like, there'll be something in the description of the TikTok you're watching or whatever that has nothing to do with the video itself, you know?
Right.
It's just because it's like another clickbait game for ex-rappers instead of a space for real conversation. Just my opinion, you know?
Yeah, that's why you get a lot of those like outlandish takes, or you get people just insulting people for just to get engagement. Like just to get engagement, you gotta say something like real nasty, and then once you say it's real nasty, you get the other person to respond. And that's the purpose of it. It's not to make a point. It's just to get that back and forth for people to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the whole, you know, in the entertainment business.
It's to bring the battle rap. Excuse me, coach, real quick. I don't say it's just to bring the battle rap back into the podcast world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, but now look, you know, they had their era. You know what I'm saying? It's like No one's denying their legacy in music, you know. But the podcast lane was built by like regular dudes with mics. In the
Average
basement.
Joes.
Yeah, in the basement. You know, you had your era.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
let us have ours. You know.
Well,
And
I'm not afraid of them, bro. As a matter of fact, I'll say this to everybody watching. Tell you what I'll do for vibes, because we've been trying to find the right audience for vibes. Tell you what, if this video, right, if this episode gets 10,000 views, then we'll expand what we talk about more. Instead of just talking about entertainment, we'll start talking about more stuff. And listen, and I'm not talking about 10,000 views over the next month. I'm gonna give you guys 10 days. 10 days should be enough. I'll give you guys 10 days for 10,000 views and 1,000 subscribers. And if we can hit that, then we'll expand and go into deeper stuff. That's my challenge to everybody watching, for you to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, like the video on both, view both. And if this thing gets 10,000 views, trust me, I watch this. I don't watch it like a hawk, but I look at it. Maybe once a day, maybe, you know, are you in the car wash? You know how you wash your car every day, right? You know how you go to the car wash every day?
Yeah.
And you're just sitting through in the car wash, whatever. Fritz, you wash your car every day, right?
No. No.
You don't wash your car every day?
No, you know, you gotta have a subscription for something like that.
Never ride with you, dog. You don't wash your car every day?
Nah, man.
You don't go to the car wash every day.
Nah. You know what? When you have a impressive car, you gotta keep that with nice. Mine's A to B transportation right now.
I just learned something about you. I don't know if I guess that's why we opposites, bro. But the point I was making is you know how you somewhere you waiting and you just check your phone. So during the course of the day I'll check. So 10,000 views for this and 1,000 subscribers, and we'll format the joint and even consider doing a grander name to catch more viewers. If y'all do that, let us know. That will let me know if you want vibes and stuff to be bigger. If y'all want vibes and stuff to be bigger, if y'all do that in the next 10 days, today is the 18th. So by the 28th, if this video here has 10,000 views, I don't care the likes. I want you to like, but the likes are hard to judge. So if you 10,000 views, 1,000 subscribers in 10 days, that's a Herculean effort. That's on average 100 subscribers per day. Right? If y'all do that, then I'll look at expanding the thing. So, but Fritz, you don't wash your car every day, bro?
No, bro.
How many cars? You just drive
no.
one car? Don't tell me you have
Drive
one
one car, bro. Hey, you know, we can't all be Uncle Freezie. We can't all have a fake spaceship.
you
gotta have a spaceship.
I don't know, dog. French, you gotta play that.
Get me a spaceship. Get me a spaceship. Once I get me a spaceship, I gotta keep that thing clean. Even though it's on 15s, but I gotta keep it cleaned up.
Try. Is that a Connecticut thing, Try? Is that a Connecticut thing? People in Connecticut have one car? Well, y'all trying to save the environment or something?
Nah, them taxes. Them taxes in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah, you in Connecticut. That's right. Yo, Bully in the chat laughing, bro. Bully know what I'm talking about. So Coach, is that a reasonable goal or unreasonable? You think I should give it to the end of the month?
Nah, man, 10 days.
10. Okay, all right. Triborough, that is officially the gauntlet. 10,000 views for this video, not overall on the channel. For this joint, 10,000 views and 1,000 subscribers for the channel, and we'll see. Lee, you think that's attainable?
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know, but shoot. Yeah, I rock with it.
All right. So, all right, that's the move. But getting onto another topic, I want to get you guys' thoughts on the Diddy trial, Diddy and Cassie.
Oh boy.
Any of y'all follow any of that?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
I've been following it. Some thoughts. Some thoughts on how people cover it. I don't like how some people cover it.
I've been watching it. I've been watching it as well. And I got layers of opinions on that from both directions. So
Yo,
it's crazy.
I'll say this because I'm really interested to hear everybody take, but I'm gonna go first, and then I promise I'm gonna move out of the way because I think this is gonna be mad hilarious.
Okay.
I think Diddy is gonna beat the case, and everybody that snitched on Diddy and played Diddy while he was locked up gonna be on a hit list when Diddy get out. I think Diddy gonna come out with a gray beard, all gray hair, ragged and worn out. And when he get back, when he hit them streets, the first thing you're gonna hear is that joint, more money, more problems. I don't however the song go. I think that More Money, More Problems is gonna be what he gonna be dancing out the courthouse on when he get out. Because if the Fed's case was built, and shout out to my man Tone. I wake up wavy. He mentioned, bro, all they're do is making a case for Diddy and Cassie being freaks, and that Diddy had a whole bunch of baby. Your case is built on baby oil and public opinion.
Yeah, it's based on like their swinger lifestyle.
Yeah, yo, you building the case that people are freaky. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm like, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know. It put me in that space where I feel like, if that's their case, bro, I think they might lose, bro. I think Diddy might get free, man.
Yeah, because they should have really came with like receipts. Like, it doesn't seem like a very like receipt driven case. It's like they just trying to embarrass him. Like they just trying to, you know what I mean? They're just trying to embarrass him as bad as they could on trial. But you need receipts. You need people.
Well, I think the prosecution they're trying to push that as sex trafficking and racketeering and all this stuff extra, like, but it's like the defense side is like kind of showing it doesn't meet like the legal definitions of those things. Like his actions, even though they're sketch as hell,
Right.
And then like they're talking about the accusers who are doing it for financial motives and stuff, pointing to like some of their previous settlements, like that one, that $20 million agreement with Cassie Ventura before or something. Didn't he have like a settlement with her?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like,
one of the other things that my guy Tone, I Wake Up Wavy mentioned, that's our guy. He does the content for We Talk Hawks TV. He said, man, if Diddy gets set down for real for flying in people to to get their groove on, every IG model in the world is going to be suing rappers now. Imagine
And
how many
athletes.
rappers and
Oh,
athletes and everybody. Hold on, let me finish. I mean, imagine Fritz Alcindor being on pins and needles because all the IG models and no, I'm joking. Hey, y'all, Fritz is a preacher, y'all. I'm joking with Fritz, y'all. Fritz is a preacher, but
I'm gonna have to delete my chat history.
No. Yeah, Fritz, wow, bro. Yo, but imagine all the athletes, actors, everybody that flew in IG models to where they were or any other place and paid them just to have sex across state lines.
Mhm.
Diddy has to win this case because now we're gonna be out here like, yo, I wonder if Cat gonna beat the case. Yo, I hope Josh Hart ain't been, you know what I'm saying? I hope such and such and such. I hope Zion and the Mariah chick, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Because this has been a thing. If Diddy loses, now all I got now is like, and the other thing to it too is, how do you file a RICO case against one person? When's the last time you seen a gang charges filed against one person? Mafia rules apply to one person.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Maybe they're saying he's an enterprise, like as if the music's connected to.
That's the key word you just used, Coach.
Yeah, his assistants helped him and stuff.
That's basically what it is. They're trying to say that his assistants are like little capos in little areas of certain parts of his networking. So, but there's nobody else on trial but him.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody, at least from what I've heard, hasn't from his camp that supposedly that knew or knows or had the gist of what's going on or was part of the covering up the embarrassing situations that they were in. And none of them have been charged or until they put them on the stand to go against them, then that's gonna be the part where it's gonna affect him the most. But from what I'm sitting back in, I'm watching this almost every day. And I'm watching it from another cat's perspective. This young man, well, two perspectives. This young lady called I'm Not a Lawyer, and then this young man called Cuff Boys.
Oh, you're talking about on TikTok? You want to see TikTok?
No, not on TikTok. I catch them both on YouTube. They're both on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay.
I catch them both. And then each of them almost every day when there's something going on, they're about 20, 30 minutes, a piece at the most. But the funny thing is how they're victimizing somebody, and no disrespect to anybody who goes through domestic abuse, because I don't put that on anybody. I do not put that. But if you keep coming back, and it was parts where you have already started to move on in your life, because I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what's going on. Do I agree with? And first of all, I think my personal opinion of Puffy is that he's rich. He has a King's disease issue. He feels like he's untouchable because he's beaten a lot of certain situations and a lot of legal situations where what I'm saying, it was close. He done beat some stuff by the skin of his teeth, and now he's untouchable. He done missed being taken out. And then also too, I feel there's a higher power outside of the federal government that's coming after him, and they're using this to what you would call to humble him and humiliate him, because they used him like he uses us or everybody else out here in the business world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's sad. I feel like Diddy would have never been in this situation if he'd have never sued Ciroc.
Right.
That's just my
And
personal opinion. You know, if he'd have
he,
never sued Ciroc, you know, if he'd have just humbly bowed out, walked away, you know, and settled for the fact that he's just a billionaire. But you know, you got to understand where Diddy comes from. He comes from hip hop. Hip hop is competitive. Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a billionaire and he's working on being, you know, even more of a billionaire. And these people thrive off of making money or the power grab or having the connections. But to come to find out, when you try to cross out when you attack one of them, they all come together to take you out. You got to be careful how you do your business and who you mess with, and what you align yourself with. You understand what I'm saying? Because I bet you every rich, you know, wherever there's a fortune, a crime has been made. Crime has happened in order to get that.
yeah,
You know, for example, the Kennedys, the father was a bootlegger. Next thing you know, your son's the president of the United States, your son's the attorney general. You know, there's always something going on in order to get up there to get to that status. So you got to be really comfortable. You got to be really careful. You know, you want that kind of money. You got to stand. It's the price to pay to get there.
yeah.
So
He's definitely gonna be he's in trouble. Because look,
I mean,
let's
not
keep it.
necessarily because they don't have nothing. They really don't have nothing rock solid where they say that, you know, he forced these people. You know, see, this whole this has got to be forced trafficking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
There
know.
was a business agreement out there. It was all you know, offered. They accepted. They came. Now we're judging. Now this is the thing. Now America and in the United States, we're judging morality. We're judging your choices as a human being as far as how you live your personal life. As long
Yeah,
as you're not really, you know, breaking the law, there's one thing. You know,
It
but
doesn't have to be forced. Like it
yeah,
could be just, hey, if you come down to Atlanta for 2 racks, that's racketeering. Like
right.
if you explicitly say it, yeah, that's racketeering. It don't have to do about children. It don't have to do about making somebody do anything.
Like, you know, let's get real for a
I don't
second.
get that. I don't get that.
If
That's the point. But if you choose, see, this is my thing. If you choose to come down here, because listen, hey, I'm saying, for Triborough, you up at the crib if you are,
Yeah.
and you say, yo, man, hey, I got this dope track, yo. I want you to try to put something on it. And I'm gonna send you a plane ticket and I'm gonna pay you 5 G's and I'm gonna give you a place to stay. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So now that's considered racketeering too. It, just because of the purpose may not be the ideal purpose. That you understand what my comparison is. One is sex, the other one's music. So so sex is against the law.
Uh,
Hold on a second, of consenting adults. Because you got to consent to do this. There ain't nobody putting no gun to your head over the phone from the other side of the country.
yeah, it's not the consent part. It's the exchange, and it's in a different state.
yeah, it's illegal to do that.
It's just, yeah. So you could say, hey, I got a Birkin. You know, you come down, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. I got a Birkin for you. That's racketeering, and if
And the
it's
thing
in a different
is,
state.
But
you
he's not
don't
making.
even have
He's
to
not
make
making.
money.
That's what I'm saying. Where's he coming out off of this other than getting his rocks off? So how is it racketeering if he's not making money? Where's he racketing the cats
He's
from?
gaining power because it's either money.
Nah. What kind of power? What kind of power?
Yes, it's one of those weird laws, like
That's part of the
teach
law,
this
though.
role. Yes, the law. That's how a lot of people getting stuck up. It's across state lines, money's exchanged, and it's clearly in the text, it's clearly in the email what they're exchanging for.
If that's the case, then hold on a second. So hold on a second. But you say he's gaining power. That part right there, that's hogwash. That's hogwash. That's hogwash. Because listen, the sole purpose of that person moving, the coming over here, is for the money. That's not no power. And then on top of that, he's
But
the
you're just
consumer.
isolating that
Listen,
one
hold on a second. Hold on a
incident.
second. Hold on a second. He's the consumer, not the person. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's buying, not selling.
Yeah, but he didn't just commit like isolated acts of that and of abuse. He ran a whole criminal enterprise that
What's the
involved
criminal enterprise?
multiple
It's
victims, places, and accomplices over many years. The enterprise used coercion, like intimidation, blackmail,
They
and
gotta
like
prove that though.
and
You got to
systemic
prove
abuse.
that, and then on top of
you
that,
gotta
listen,
prove it.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on
No,
top
well,
of
that's
that,
why they're on trial.
but homeboy, what I'm saying, but have you been following the trial? Because
Yeah.
because listen, let me tell you something. Because I've listened to how the defense is coming at, and I heard her, and then how they showed, and because of the text and the exchanges they had amongst themselves, she is just as much as complicit in this as he has for the most part.
Yep.
But the thing
And,
is,
and see, and what you fail to realize is because his name is on there, and because he's the man, and he applied the abuse which they caught on camera. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors outside of that. It's
Okay.
easy to be the victim, and I'm not blaming her because from what I seen on film, that was egregious. Nobody should do that.
Okay.
right, but the
But
thing is,
hold on a second,
dude, you
coach,
keep
I'm
saying,
not
hold
finished,
on a second, but you keep saying the same thing, but louder.
bro. You keep saying the same thing too, though. Sometimes,
So, hey, can y'all just get to what's the point?
I haven't said the same thing yet. What are you talking about?
Lee, but so
Go ahead.
Lee, what's
I'm
the Lee?
waiting.
What's the Lee? So Lee, what were you saying?
I forgot my thought because I got cut off. Go ahead, coach.
I
Man, come
didn't
on.
cut you off. Every time you make a space.
Hey, but coach, what's your point? What's your point?
My point is the charge. It's more than just his own personal misconduct. Okay, it ain't about him having bad morals, or it's a criminal conspiracy with multiple actors and layers, which make it like harder to defend for him. Like if it was just him having some personal misconduct, that's one thing. But there's a lot of layers and other people involved. That's what makes it like a network of abuse and a conglomerate of people. That's what makes it like a racketeering thing.
Now, coach, with that said, who else is on trial with him? Because you have to have some co-defendants in there for it to be racketeering. Where's his network? Where's his network
they could
of
be
people?
witnesses. They could be witnesses too.
Because hold on a second, because I just
we're not moving on the second. You asked a question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you asked a question, and then don't give people room to answer the question, and then get frustrated that they're cutting you off. So your question is who else is involved, right? Fritzell Center, go ahead and answer what you gonna say.
No, I said they could actually be witnesses. They could be, hey, I flipped on him. I flipped on my friend, so I won't go to jail. He's the focus. They just want him. And that's, I think, they haven't gotten to those people yet, but it's a criminal conspiracy because he was the head. So if I had something for myself, I'm only me. Conspiracies, hey, I'm throwing parties and I am the organizer of the parties and I'm organizing. He's responsible, even though everybody's involved. They're not as involved as he is. He is the head. He's the party organizer, and I think their pattern is going to be he did this on the regular, and he was the one organizing it.
Yeah, like when it's a coordinated effort, that's what makes it that. Like if it was just him being a freak with a friend or two and inviting some people over, that's one thing. But like it turns into like a racketeering situation when it's like a coordinated idea, like let's throw a party, let's get things going, and let's do this, let's do that. Like it's a whole. It's like you think of it like this: it's not just about one messed up incident. They like just like one thing happened, or it happened once. Like suppose, and this is supposedly because neither of us were there. This is just the info that we've gotten about the trial, the accusations. So when I'm saying this stuff, I'm not saying it as a fact. I'm just saying what I watched and witnessed and heard. You know, that he's allegedly ran a whole business of abuse, like a criminal empire where like manipulation and coercion and exploitation were like the products.
So basically, we need more info. It's too early in the case to like find out who.
It's
who,
like
They're gonna have to have witnesses. Yeah.
Right. Trumbo, do you agree with that? That it's too early.
I'm saying like if you have if he was doing all these freak off parties and you have these celebrities there and they all were willing, is that a crime?
No.
Yes.
Exactly. So if anything, they could probably get him on racketeering. How many years would he do for racketeering?
But racketeering for what? What's the crime that's committed?
I mean, they're saying that he ran a criminal enterprise, but they got to be able to prove that. And the thing is, a lot of people, some of the people that were maybe a part of it, they're either dead or they got paid off. So they're not going to testify against them.
But what is the criminal enterprise?
Money
within the industry. Yeah.
So money across state lines.
That's not a crime, though.
That is a crime.
No, it's not. I take money, bro. You take money across state lines every day. Every time you go to New York.
But when it's specifically for sex, it is a crime.
Okay, so that's the crime then. That's the crime, right? And so if that is the crime, then you have to prove the intent and the people that paid Diddy to set it up, right?
Yeah. So they need receipts. They need text messages. They're probably going to have witnesses who flipped on him. Some of his friends are going to say, "Hey, I was there. He set it up, or he always set it up." And then they're going to try to make him take the fall.
Right. Well, see, that's one of the things that I'm interested in. Right. That's one of the things I thought y'all were going to talk about. Like, if this is criminal enterprise, then how come we hadn't heard whispers about who was actually funding Diddy? Like if Diddy is the parlayer of the activities, the organizer, then who is the real head of the snake, right? Because if Diddy is the real head of the snake, then is it a criminal enterprise that he employed people just to set up parties? They could say they had no idea what it was, and then the event happened.
Well,
right?
One thing that I'm
like, oh man, Diddy had bodyguards there. Well, Diddy's gonna have bodyguards at every event.
Yeah, but Diddy didn't coordinate that whole thing himself.
No,
by himself.
But
he had people help. But
like you said, so the thing that I think was interesting, people were talking. So before the trial, like when this first came out, people were talking about video cameras, influence, and that type of stuff. I haven't heard any of that during the trial so far. So that's the part I'm interested, because basically they said no, it wasn't for money. He was just getting dirt on people with these video cameras. But that hasn't even come up in the trial.
Oh snap!
That kind of stuff isn't.
It's more like
that's bubble wrap.
When you start involving like the whole crew he has, like party organizers, the security, and then like some promoters of these events, they all play roles in like this whole massive scheme. So it's like an assembly line of crime. But like, so everyone's got their part in it. Like, if like, I'm not saying it's this extreme, like he was murdering women or killing people, but if everyone knows we're creating these parties and everyone's gonna create this shell of like nothing to see here, while Diddy's like,
hey, we got 2 minutes, y'all. Hey, 2 minutes.
Killing people in his room.
2 minutes for everybody. I mean, like, 2 minutes left.
I mean, in the end, it comes down to this, bro. If Dr. Huxtable can be found guilty, bro. Anyone,
And that was BS. That was a sham in itself too.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like the Michael Vick thing with the dogs. Like he had a whole bunch of other people helping him with that. You know what I'm saying? And he was the face of it.
And they was doing it at his house while he was playing football, bro.
Yeah.
And it was just his crib. That was out, and that's why he took the blame for it, because it was his property, and him knowing that it was going on, but he wasn't the organizer or the head of it. He just happened to facilitate the place.
All right, so let me do this right here real quick. I'm gonna wrap up right here so that we can have enough room for the AI. I'm gonna just ask y'all to hold on for me for just a moment, right? All right. So thank you everybody for coming through and rocking with us. The challenge still stands. We want to get 10,000 views for this show. We also want to get 1,000 subscribers based on the content that we created today. Think that's a reasonable goal. Coach co-signed it. He agreed. He think that's official. We should do it. So that's my challenge to you guys. Love you guys. Right. Love you guys. Thank y'all for coming through, taking part in the conversation. Just wanted to say thank you to one of the sweet ladies in my life. Gave me a gift today, the red bag. I don't carry bags, everybody. I'm not a bad guy, but Mom Dukes bought me a gift. I promised not to look into it until I got with y'all. So I don't know what's in here. Oh, shoot. What the hell? All right, so Mom Dukes put whatever this kind of bread is. I don't know what that is, but salute to Mom for looking out for me. And she also put Nature's Truth superfood beetroot gummies, naturally occurring nitrates in the bag. That's the bag, everybody. So, and that is Miss Mocha in the background laughing as she does understand how this thing works. Thanks again for tuning in to Vibes and Stuff. I want to thank Coach Corey Lee, Fritz Alcindor, Triborough, Bully, and others for coming through, rocking with us. We're going to get out of here, y'all. Peace, everybody.